I didn't have a dog in this fight. I was completely open and liberal about it until there was a case where a man who had been a man for 30 years became a woman for a little less than 2 years and then started MMA fighting women.
Yes, exactly.
Beating the fuck out of these women and not proclaiming that he or she used to be a man because in quotes, it was a medical condition that I did not need to disclose. Like, that's not a fucking medical condition.
Right.
And if you ever watch the fights, she
like
wasn't winning.
Is this Fallon Fox?
Yes.
Yeah.
She wasn't winning because she was skillful. She was fucking manhandling these women. It was ugly.
Of course.
It was horrible.
Of course. Like, but again, it's so funny how the transgender movement destroys the feminist movement by living off of the sort of lies that the feminist movement promulgated. So the feminist movement said stupid things like women and men, equally athletic proficient.
Well, that's something that has been repeated very recently, that there's no biological difference in the genders and it's all social.
Absolute horseshit. I mean,
well, it will end women's sports, and all those girls who dreamed of going out of the team will take a look at the risks to their health, to their body, to their safety, and the incredibly long shot of ever succeeding, and they won't bother.
So, Ms. Shrier, tell this committee and tell America how it will end women's sports. You know, as I said that, my friend Chairman Durbin glared over and disagreed, and no doubt viewed that as partisan hyperbole. So let me ask you, as an expert, why would this bill end women's sports?
Well, take the sport of deadlifting, Olympic deadlifting. So the record for the male in deadlifting is about 1,100 pounds he can lift. The record for the female, this is the best female deadlifter in the world, the greatest record, is around 600 pounds. So you see how many athletes you're eliminating. It means that the fastest girl runner never makes it to the Olympics. She never makes it to the team. In the state of Connecticut, 13 out of 14 championships of titles in 2019 were taken by just 2 high school boys, biological boys.
So pause and reflect.
In the name of equality. For some girls, athletics is the only chance they'll have to shine for the entire course of their lives. But supporters of this bill don't appear concerned about them. They are concerned about the progressive groups that will call you a transphobe or a homophobe if you don't do exactly as they say and abandon women and girls. By enshrining gender identity as a protected category, this bill would make it impossible ever to legally distinguish between a woman and a biological male who claims a female identity for whatever amount of time and for whatever reason or purpose. And gender identity can be very ephemeral. Even prominent gender therapists attest that people can be on a gender journey and identify as one thing one day and another the next. They have that freedom in America. Should we undermine women's sports and protective spaces to allow gender-fluid males a gender journey? Just last week, after the Washington Correctional Center for Women began housing prisoners according to gender identity, 6 men transferred into the women's prison. One of the inmates raped a female in the women's prison upon arrival. If you pass this bill, you can expect hundreds more victims like this one. And that has nothing to do with transgender people and everything to do with opportunistic self-identification by violent male felons.